Hello everyone, we have practice 6A, question 1. Find the angle of refraction, so we need theta, r, okay, it is unknown, for a ray of light that enters a bucket of water from air. So we know it is entering a bucket of water and it's going from air. So air to what? To water. Now the first medium becomes Ni, the second medium becomes Nr. If you go back to the index of refraction, the table of indices of refraction, you will see that Ni is equal to 1 for air, N for water is equal to 1.333, okay? It needs what? It needs theta r. If you know that the angle of incidence is equal to what? It is equal to 25. Now let's find theta r. So we have Ni sine theta I, which is equal to Nr sine theta r. Let's find this one. So we have Ni, which is equal to 1, and then sine 25, which is equal to what? 1.333 times sine 20. We need to find theta r. So divide all of this by 1.333 and divide the other side too by 1.333. Cancels. And then we have sine in here, sine theta r, which is equal to 1 times sine 25. And then we have 1.333. Take the sine inverse, so theta r is equal to what? It is equal to sine inverse of this number, 1 times sine 25, and then divided by what? By 1.333. You can calculate this and then take sine inverse. It's the same thing, it doesn't matter. If you calculate this, you're gonna get what? You're gonna get 18.5. Okay, this is what? This is the angle of refraction. We have question 2. It's a table for an incoming ray of light of vacuum wavelength 589 nanometer. Fill in the known values in the following table. So we have thin glass first of all, and then we have crown glass. So this medium, from all of them become Ni, and this one becomes Nr. Okay, so it's going from this one to this one, like this. Now let's solve A. Okay, so Ni for thin glass is going to be what? It is going to be, if you go back to the table, it is equal to 1.66. Crown glass is equal to what? It is equal to 1.52. We have theta I, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 25. We have only one thing left, which is theta r. We should find it. So again, Ni sine theta I is equal to Nr sine theta r. I'm trying to find this. So we have Ni 1.66 is times sine 25, which is equal to 1.52 times sine theta r. Divide this by 1.52. Divide the other side too by 1.52. Cancels. So sine theta r is equal to what? Is equal to 1.66 times sine 25 divided by 1.52. Then take sine inverse of this, sine inverse of all of this, 1.66 times sine 25 divided by 1.52. If you take the sine inverse of this, you're gonna get what? You're gonna be at 27.38. This is going to be the angle of refraction. Now we have question B. It says what? The ray now is going from air to something unknown. We don't know what is it. So we need to find what? We need to find Nr here. And we have everything. So we have Ni times, Ni sine theta I again, Nr sine theta r. I'm trying to find what? I'm trying to find Nr. Okay, I have everything. air, the index of refraction of air is equal to 1 times sine theta is equal to what? Here, 14.5 is equal to what? NR, we don't have it. Multiply by what? By sine theta is equal to what? It is equal to 9.8. Okay, I'm trying to find this. So we divide all of this by sine 9.8 and then divide the other side too by sine 9.8. Cancels. NR is equal to, it is equal to 1 times sine 14.5 divided by what? Divided by sine 9.8. By the way, when you do this in a calculator, make sure to do this, okay, for the sine. Okay, it should be in a bracket, okay? So you don't mix the values. So NR is going to be what? NR for B is going to be equal to 1.47, which is basically glycerine, okay? We have C, question C. This time, we're going to try again find the angle of refraction. So Ni sine theta I is equal to what? It is equal to Nr sine theta R. I'm trying to find this. So I have Ni for air is equal to 1 times theta is equal to, it is equal to 13.6. So sine 31.6 is equal to what? It is equal to NR. NR for diamond, by the way. If you go back to the table, you're going to find out that diamond has an index of refraction of 2.419, then times sine theta R. Okay, divide this by this, 2.419, the other side too, 2.419, cancels, then sine theta R is going to be what? 1 times sine 31.6 divided by 2.419. Okay, take the sine inverse of all of this, sine inverse, then 1 times sine 31.6 divided by what? By 2.419. Then theta R is going to be equal to what? It is going to be equal to 12.5. This is the angle of refraction for question C. We have question 3. A ray of light of vacuum wavelength 550 nanometer traveling in air enters a slab of transparent material. So we don't know what material is that, so we're going to find NR. But we know that Ni, it is equal to air, which is 1, because it says air traveling in air enters a slab of transparent material. So we don't know what material is that, so we're going to find NR. The incoming ray makes an angle of 40, so we know the incident ray or the incoming ray is having an angle with the normal line. So this is going to be what? Theta I, which is going to be equal to what? 40 with the normal. And the refracted ray makes an angle of 26. So theta R is equal to what? It is equal to 26 with the normal. Finding this refraction of the transparent material, as I told you, this NR is unknown, it's not 1. It is equal to what? Okay, we're trying to find NR, okay? It's pretty easy, same as the other questions. It's Ni sine theta I is equal to NR sine theta R. I'm trying to find NR this time. We have Ni, which is air, is equal to 1 times sine theta is equal to what? Theta I, is equal to 40. So sine 40 is equal to what? Is equal to NR multiplied by what? By sine theta R, which is equal to 26. Then we're going to divide this by sine 26. Divide the other side too by sine 26. Cancels. NR is equal to what? Divide this, take sine inverse of 40 and then divide it by sine inverse of 26. you're gonna get what? You're gonna get 1.46. Are we gonna say n is equal to what? It is equal to 1.47, which is basically closer to glycerine. So this one is also glycerine. In the next video, we're gonna solve section review. Okay, so see you in the next video.